Hello, Taurus. Welcome back. It's good to see you again for your May 2020 ASMR tarot reading. Happy birthday. I hope you have a good birthday this month, in spite of everything that's happening. I have today smoky quartz, I really love this piece of smoky quartz. It's very dark, but also very transparent. I have this fluorite wand, and maybe I'll be able to show you some of the places where there are cleavages within the rock. You can see little iridescent spots where it refracts the light in a really neat way. And then, of course, fluorite is amazing for all its different layers, purples and greens. Now today I also have my tourmalated quartz pendulum, in case we need to clarify any yes or no answers. We'll be using Pixie's Lenormand. This is a really neat Lenormand deck. It's basically collaged together from Pamela Coleman Smith's work. So from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, and I guess there was a story she illustrated called The Golden Vanity. They did a very good job piecing all of it together into this tiny deck. So I will be using that today, and I will be using this Handel Tarot, which I purchased when I was in New Orleans in the French Quarter on my way out here to Los Angeles. I like this deck a lot, but I don't use it very often, and I thought I would use it today. I'm getting ready to film some videos that I need some of my other tarot decks for. So I have them all in a special order, and I don't want to shuffle them. And actually, these cards are very nice because they have on them the pathway correspondences. You can see this one up in the corner, the death card has Moon on it. They have all the different, and this one has what, Tav, yeah, up in the corner for the path working correspondence. If you've been paying attention to my channel updates and stuff, you know that I'm very passionate about that right now. All right. So I'm gonna do a 12 houses spread. I feel like the Celtic Cross spread is good if you're looking at past, present, and future, but the 12 houses spread is better for kind of figuring things out in a more like how our current environments are. It goes through all your different states of being rather than just your past, present, future, and active type traits. Because things are still happening just because everything's not shut down. I mean, a lot of people still have to go to work and are putting their lives at risk every day. So if you are an essential worker or in healthcare, thank you. I felt like a 12 houses spread would do a better job for all of us to figure out what's going on in our lives. And again, this is a general reading. It will apply to your sun, moon, or rising sign. So if you're a sun sign Taurus and you watch this reading and you're like, well, this seems close, but it's a little bit off. Sometimes it helps to triangulate with your moon and your rising signs. You get a more complete picture of your forecast. Alright, so one thing I wanted to mention about these tiny, petite, adorable little Pamela Coleman Smith treasure cards, because we're doing the 12 houses spread, and I'll be pulling 3 Lenormand cards for each tarot card that I have here. So that means that by the time we get down here to the 12th house, that's going to be the last 3 cards. So I can kind of shuffle them in between early on, but as I get closer and closer to the end of the reading, I'm going to run out of cards. Alright, let's get started, shall we? First house, house of beginnings, governed by Aries. 9 of Cups, upright. I almost don't even need to clarify that, but I'm going to. That's good. That's nothing but good. Yeah, we've got the Child. So maybe you're coming into this situation in a very innocent kind of a way, like almost like the Fool card. You're just kind of walking right into it without a lot of preconceived notions. We have the Whip, so maybe there's a need for discipline in this time. And the Fish, and the Fish is money, so that's awesome. Awesome right off the bat. Oh, that's good. I love giving good readings. I always hate giving bad readings. Or, not bad, but like, oh, it looks like somebody around you might die. So this is your house. Second house, house of possessions. We have Ace of Wands in the east, and it's reversed. So that could be that you have these creative ideas, but they're kind of on hold right now until you have the material means to carry them out. So that makes sense. All right. What do we have here? The mice. So mice, it could be people kind of like nibbling away at your resources. And this could be your patience, your time, your energy, your finances, anything like that. They're kind of like nibbling around the corners. So look out for hangers on in your inner circle. We have the key. And the key is all about having access to things that you haven't before. So I think very soon, whatever this creative idea is, you'll be able to start bringing it to life. What else do we have here? The moon. The moon is about the arts in the Lenormand deck, but it's also about things being hidden. And here we have a 7 and 2 8s. So those 2 8s. And when I say that, I mean that here in this Lenormand deck, they have the playing card correspondences down in the corner. 8s are about a kind of a satisfaction, almost to 9, which is an ending. But I don't want to get too deep into meanings with Lenormand because that's not what they're for. It's not what they're for at all. It's very difficult to avoid that, but really you're supposed to flip the card over, be like, boom, that's what it is, and move on. You don't want to be overanalyzing your Lenormand readings. Eventually, I think it would be really cool to do grand tableau, but that can be very personal, so I think it would be a little difficult to do those as general readings. So here in the 3rd house, this is the house of communication. It's ruled by Gemini. This card is called Defeat. It's the 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords is mostly about, it could be something that you actually got your way, but the defeat is the people you alienated in the process. This could be about communication with someone having kind of fallen apart. What do we have here? These beautiful little baby cards. I love using these. They're so much fun. And I don't know if I mentioned this recently, but I have the tiniest hands. So tiny cards I like shuffling. Yeah, we have Betrayal here. That's the snake. Gentleman. This could be somebody with very masculine energy. It doesn't have to be a man. It could be somebody who's just very like forceful and authoritative. And the bear. The bear means this person's powerful. So I see that you have run afoul of, probably through no fault of your own, of a powerful, manipulative person. That's the energy I get from that person. I'm really sorry. The 4th house, Cancer rules. This is your home and family house. And we have the 2 of Cups, which is about love. And I know that it's difficult in this time for those of you who are not sheltering in place with your romantic partner. But that's very good for the 4th house. Let's find out more about that. Good news. Writer's good news. There are going to be obstacles in your path, and it'll be tough, but it's not insurmountable. And we have the ring, which could be a marriage proposal, but is definitely a commitment between partners. The ring can also come out for business partnerships, but in this case with the 2 of Cups, that's really strong partnership energy in a romantic way. All right. 5th house. This is creativity, romance, ruled by Leo. And it is the 4 of Pentacles reversed. There's something that is part of your creative process that you're holding on to too tightly during this time. Like, I have to do this. This is part of my process. I have to do it. It's not. It's not. You can change it up anytime you want. What's this? The Sun. So, headed in a good direction. The book. The book is about secrets. And house. So, your comfortable home, secrets, and, well, that's just kind of a mess. Like I said, Lenormand, you really shouldn't look into too deeply. Yeah. Stable home. I see some secrets, but I see a good ending. So whatever that means to you in the context of clinging too tightly to a certain process. I am going to spray some water. I didn't decoct any kind of like purification spray other than just some water. Water's the best purifier that we have. It's getting hot here in Los Angeles. Don't forget to stay hydrated. You don't have to have fancy things to get a good result. You can just use plain water to purify a space too. It's all about your intention. 6th house, ruled by Virgo. This is your daily routines and your health. And you're gonna make a change. And it's gonna be a positive change. A good, positive change. Let's see what we have here. The lilies. So the lilies are all about purity, purification, and it's a reminder that if you're doing things to excess during this time, like if you're overeating because you're bored, or you're drinking a lot of alcohol because, you're trapped inside, all of these vices, it's a reminder to keep those in check. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. We have a letter, so that could be news coming from somewhere. And the garden. The garden is all about being surrounded by good influence. So whether that's the people that you're surrounding yourself with, or the energy, or any of the things that elevate your vibration. That's what the garden's about. So I can see already you are implementing this positive change in your life. All right, the 7th house is about marriages. It's about legal proceedings. It's governed by Libra, so anything that is making two halves fairly balanced. It's all about balance and about open enemies. Oh, we have the Chariot, which is the 7th card in the 7th house, although Chariot is governed by Cancer and not by Libra. But it is about balance, it's about victory, it's about having chosen the good path that you need to take. So that could refer to a relationship, it could refer to legal proceedings, it could refer to any of those type of situations. We have the Fox, that's your cunning, that's being smart cookie. We have the Tree. This is what you are growing on. This is the growth that you're undergoing. And the Tower. Now, the Tower in Lenormand is very different from the Tower in Tarot. The Tower is all about strength. It's all about being able to see situations from a place of power, from a place of control. It's all about control. So that's good. You are able to control that sphere of influence. And the Chariot tarot card paired with the Tower Lenormand card, that shows me that you have, this good growth. You're very smart about it. The 8th house is death, sex, and other people's resources. And it's governed by Scorpio. I'm trying to remember to hold up the cards. It changes every time what I have in frame and what I don't. But in this house, you have the Fool. So you're going into this situation with death being an ending, the Fool being the beginning. You're kind of going into it just completely open, without a bunch of preconceived notions or other thoughts about it. The Stars, that's a good healthy energy to pair with the Fool. The Crossroads, there's going to be a choice that you have to make. And, death and sex very much kind of are encompassed within other people's resources, because when you're linked energetically to someone else through sex, that is still like their resources. And while there are emotional resources that go into relationships, the energy generated through intercourse is, that's why it's referred to as prima materia, right? That's why that's a thing in alchemy. So it's like a completely different level of that. Notwithstanding, there is going to be a choice that you have to make. So it is good that you're going into this with a very open energy. And we have the Coffin. So there's an ending there. So we have an ending and we have a beginning. And I just wanted to point out that your house that you govern, which is the 2nd house, is about your possessions. And then The 8th house, which Scorpio governs, is about other people's possessions. You guys are kind of like opposite, both fixed signs. And you know, Scorpio's a water sign. The 9th house, governed by Sagittarius, it's all about travel and higher education. And the Death card is here. It's all about elevating your states too. So, you know, travel and higher education, learning, gaining more experience, all of those things. So there's definitely a situation here in which there is like a transition going on, a very serious transition. And this Death card in the upright in your 9th house, it's going to be a change to either the way that you learn, the way that you travel, the way that you, let me think about this before I pull my Lenormand cards. The way that you interact with the world in order to the way that you interact with the world at large. The way that you generate your prima materia with others. The way that you put yourself out there. So all of those things, which is kind of 9th house energy. Like I said, it's the ways that you elevate yourself. We have the dog, so that's loyalty. The scythe, that's cutting people out, cutting things out of your life. You're probably very loyal to your friends, but maybe not everybody deserves that level of loyalty. And the cross, it's going to be a good, positive energy moving forward in your life. And the cross also has implications of this higher power. So keep that in mind as well, that you are doing this to elevate yourself and elevate your vibration. Gotta feed Calcifer, right? Fire loves to consume impure things. Keep that in mind too. Alright, the 10th house. This is your career. And business. It's the Justice card reversed. So, justice regarding your work situation will be deferred in May. That doesn't mean that it's not coming. Whatever this situation is, God, I feel so bad about that. I try not to get too roped into these readings. You've got a lot of other really great stuff going on here, but whatever this situation is with your work life, it came up here in the communication house, up here in the 3rd house. So, but I mean, you have just like a ton of good energy throughout this reading, so I think that if this ends up getting balanced out, even though it won't happen this month in time for your birthday, probably, it will be coming. It will be coming. Alright, we've got the Clover. So that has to do with being lucky. And not to go too far into it, but it has to do with being lucky and not rubbing other people's faces in it. There's like an air of discretion to this card. To ship, travel. So maybe your next job you'll get to travel more. This good travel energy here of cutting those things out of your life. Or maybe this ship is like, farewell. I'll see you, sir, ne'er again. Wish you the best, but we can't do this anymore. And here's the lady. So, maybe you're a lady, or maybe there is a lady in this work situation who is kind of providing a balance for whatever this energy is that this gentleman, this snake, is bringing in to that work situation. Somebody who's trying to be like, no, come on, just wait it out. Everything will be fine. They're going to help you through this situation. And victory might not come, or justice will probably be a victory for you, or whatever justice it is, probably not going to happen this month. Alright, we have the 11th house, which is Aquarius, and that is the 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands, courage. It's about being able to defend yourself psychically and psychologically. The 11th house is all about your brain waves and how they're being allocated and projected into your life. We have the clouds, so that's his trouble ahead. We have the stork. The stork is about good news. So, just because it's good news doesn't mean that it's not worrisome. And the storks bring blessings, like that's why there's the representation of the stork bringing a baby in the heart. So it could be that someone who loves you very much is going to be looking out for you in that situation, helping your mental states. Wearing a black shirt. I don't have dandruff, but I just collect debris. Alright. Last card. Are you ready? This is the 12th house. It is the house ruled by Pisces. And it's the house of endings. And we have the Lovers, and it's upright. Now, the Lovers, it can be about a romantic relationship. It absolutely can. But the energy, which is very much tied into this card, is about a choice. It's the choice that Adam and Eve both made. I'll try to tell you that Adam didn't make that choice. He absolutely did. He chose to follow the woman that he loved out of paradise. And that may be something that you decide as well. Or maybe for you that choice involves finding a new paradise. Alright, our last 3 Lenormand cards. I'm going to peek at them. The Anchor, it's a strong foundation. So whatever this ending is going to be, there's a strong foundation there behind it. It's the Birds. It's good advice. And the Bouquet is a flirtation or an amorous gesture. So it could be a gift. And as you can see, very tiny on the stem of the wine glass. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little tiny Venus symbol. And Venus, of course, is your ruling planet, Taurus. Taurus, Venus, it even rhymes. There's a lot of very sweet, loving energy here in your reading. So don't get discouraged by whatever your work situation is that's going on. Because it won't last. So many things that are going on in this time are so temporary, and we started out your reading so well, and we're ending your reading so phenomenally. Look at this. This was your first card and your last card. So 9 of Cups and the Lovers. That's very good energy for your birthday month. I really appreciate you joining me this month, Taurus. I hope you have an amazing birthday. Get another year more beautiful. And I will see you again in June for those monthly readings. Oh, that's right. I decided that I'm going to start doing mid-month crystal scrying readings. So it's just going to be me, like this, tapping on this crystal, thinking about it. I'm not going to use fluorite, I'm going to use my obsidian. But I'll see you for the mid-month readings very soon.